Thanks for clicking on the video, and here on Nerd Mimic, we are going to talk about a pirate class for 1st edition D&D. Now, I'm not quite sure if 5th edition has a pirate class. I believe they do not. I'm more of a 1st edition player, and there's no official pirate class. It's actually called the Mariner class, which incorporates buccaneers and pirates. I'll go over the details of this article in a bit, and if you play 5th edition, you might be able to use this information to create your own specific Mariner or pirate class. Even though this says NPC class, the article is quite detailed on how to level up a character, use experience point levels, and what bonuses they get, so you can really run it as a player class. This is Dragon Magazine, issue number 107, and this was published back in March of 1986. So this is during the 1st edition run of AD&D. And Dragon Magazine actually published many other articles of different classes. I believe there's maybe upwards of 30 to 40. I can't remember exactly. But we're going to talk about the Mariner class today because we have a pirate thing going on this month. And I have a pirate fighting fantasy game book giveaway going on right now. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link down below for that. So let's get this magazine out of the wrap and we'll check out the article here. This has a cool cover by Dean Morrissey. He's supposed to be a veteran, but I don't exactly remember what module artwork he might have done. But regardless, let's get into the magazine here. And it is on page 38. And before we even get to that, there is a article here on the ecology of the sea lion. And when I was going over this magazine to talk about the Mariner class, I thought, well, sea lions, those are really basic animals. But no, it is actually literally a half seal, half lion creature. I don't ever recall running into one of these before, but who knows, maybe we'll talk about it a little bit later since we got a pirate thing going on. All right, so here is the article. It's called For Sale, One New NPC, Welcome the Mariner Aboard in Your Game. So let me bring the camera a little bit closer so we can check out this article. This article is going to first start off with stats for the class and later on talk about combat as well as how to captain and navigate a ship. So those rules are sort of interesting. So here it states that the Mariner is a fighter subclass and maybe of any alignment, but there are two well-known variants, and that would be the neutral buccaneer as well as the evil alignment pirates. So they're identical in every respect, however. And they use the attack and saving throw tables of fighters naturally, and there's no innate magical ability. However, you can create multi-classes, such as a mariner and cleric or whatnot later. So here for the innate statistics needed, you need at least a strength of 12, intelligence of 12, dexterity of 13, and a constitution of 10. They don't gain any bonuses for earned experience, and yeah, you could be humans or elves, and there's a list here of different multi-classes that are possible. Further down in the article here, they talk about the weapon armors for the class, and typically they will wear leather armor, as anything metal will be deemed too heavy and increase your chances of drowning, which there's actually a table of that later we'll show you. So due to their training and agility in combat, mariners gain a +2 bonus on their armor class while wearing leather or no armor at all. And later on here, they talk about their weapon proficiency. They gain 3 weapon proficiencies at level 1 with 1 new weapon for every 3 levels of experience. But if they use a weapon that they're not proficient in, they actually sustain a -2 penalty. Because of their time on board, they're very good at close quarter combat, and they say they actually get a +1 bonus for doing so when using their fists or other weapons on board. So that's melee weaponry. but they are also very proficient on missile weaponry as well. So they will talk about using javelins and harpoons and spears, but more importantly, they are very good at using crossbows. So they are so good they get a +1 bonus to hit when using them. Later in this article, they talk about parrying and disarming. So that's further detailed in Unearthed Arcana. I'm not gonna get into the details of that. Just scan that article quickly and get down to the bottom here where they're talking about the skills. So one skill, of course, would be swimming. So here you can assume that any character that's lived by body water can swim. And we'll flip it to the next page. And this is a 4-page article. There is an interesting ad here for some TSR related miniatures. And these are actually produced by Citadel. So I don't ever recall seeing these in the store. I saw more of the Grenadier models, and I have a whole bunch of those. All right, so let's get to the next page here. And so here it talks about the swimming and the movement in the water. So here are some interesting rules you may be able to incorporate where they move, let's see, at a rate of 6 feet. That's in one round, one segment. And with a base movement of 15 feet. If you are wearing more armor or have additional encumbrance, then you reduce your movement by 3 feet. So at 0 feet, you cannot maintain your buoyancy and be forced to walk at the bottom of the water or drown. So that goes to the next part of the article here, drowning. So when a person swims in the water for extended length of time, there's a chance the swimmer may not be able to maintain his buoyancy, and then he will drown. So there is some chances of that here. This is how long you can swim before that chance will occur. So with no encumbrance, you can swim for 2 hours. If you got leather armor, 1 hour, and additional strength, less time you can spend in the water. And then your chances of drowning are as follows. So the base chance of drowning is 25%. And you can see there's certain modifiers here depending on the situation. So I thought this section of the article was interesting, as you can incorporate this to whether it's D&D or some other role-playing game. Now here they talk about hypothermia, and then they also talk about diving. So this article is more than just talking about the class. They have some interesting rules for the Dungeon Master in regards to motion and environment. So here they talk about diving. Of course, diving in water in heavy armor carries dire consequences. If you leap in the water in any armor except leather, you will take half the damage he would have sustained if he had fallen on solid ground. All right, so in order to dive successfully, the water must be deep enough, and goes into a little bit more details. Probably more details than you really would need. When I DM a game, I don't really get into all the nitty-gritty. I just sort of use common sense in a way, and it just makes the game go a lot faster. I know some DMs are very good at utilizing these rules and get very nuanced, but this is probably more details than the average player or DM would ever utilize. But it's just cool that that does even exist, that they took the time to go into this much detail. So here they talk about holding your breath. Normally you could hold your breath for 1 round. Mariners are exceptionally good at this skill. They're able to hold their breath for 2 rounds there. So that is another bonus for them. And here, now we're gonna get into navigation and piloting ships. So this article goes into some of the details about that. And down here is a table where it gives you a chance of navigating correctly. So at certain times, you will have to make a course correction, and depending on the environment or situation, you could see if you're closer or not getting to the right location. On the next page, goes into more details about other modifiers for this navigation rule set. And they even detail it more further down here in a section called piloting. Sorry, got that light in the way here. Let's adjust that. There we go. So piloting is the science of directing a ship through a hazardous area. So navigation is just in large open waters. And here in maybe rocks or whatnot, you need better skill. And so here are some modifiers for that situation. And look at all of this detailed charts. All right, so that's all done with. And now they show the Mariner's experience table. And I thought this was interesting, the title of the subclass. You got sailor, ship's mate, sea dog, seaman, seafarer, sea rover, seahawk, shipmaster, mariner, and then like a higher level of mariner class. Down below, we have the mariner's skills table. You can notice here is one for navigating and piloting, predicting weather and how knowing sea lower, and climbing ropes and ladders. And about climbing ropes and ladders, well, there's even more detailed information on how to climb a rope and ladder. So here, normal ladder climbing is 4 feet. And then with their ability, they can do it doubly fast. But if you fail a roll, then they will have a chance of falling. Further down the article, they talk about how they are able to predict weather here. Get to the next page. And this is the last page. They talk about sea lore, about their ability to evaluate and check out ships, sort of like rate them. So you got the lowest class, which is unseaworthy. Talk about the penalties of that ship. You got an average ship, good ship, and an excellent quality ship. There are some more tables talking about the hull points of the ships. And later on here, they talk about languages. Of note, the mariner knows a strange dialect known as the sea tongue, a language used in ceremonies by religions devoted to the worship of sea deities and known to the leaders of sea people as the aquatic elves, triton, mermen, etc. So they also can learn signaling. And also they mentioned that you could even speak dolphin if you are an elf class. That's in the first part of the article here. Here, dolphin tongue. So that's another interesting tidbit. So let's get back to where we were. All right, so that's languages, and then command skills if you are being the captain here, and some rules about undersea combat. They're deemed to be better at it than other players, so they get a +2 initiative. And then finding secret and hidden doors on the ship. And they talk more about some proficiency skills, mariner's armor, henchmen and hirelings. And that's pretty much it. So this is an interesting article from the aspect of having a pirate class that you might want to add to your game. And you know, you could use this information and incorporate it to 5th edition with these statistics and the rule set of having some maybe a +1 modifier if they're fighting close combat or using a crossbow, and those other tables that you saw for swimming and piloting and navigation are interesting. So you might be able to incorporate that to your game as well. So thanks for taking the time to go over this article with me. I might have to find a better way to do this, maybe download the PDF and have the copy of it rather than holding the camera over the page. I think that's a little bit difficult for me, and maybe difficult for you guys as well, as the page is sort of at an angle and the lighting I have to keep on adjusting. A little hard to do it this way. But that is the Mariner class, a 4-page article in Dragon Magazine 107. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you have fun looting some treasure and being a pirate yourself and going on some marine adventures. Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep on adventuring out there.